Hi, everyone. I'm Carrie Warnick, Program Coordinator for Multi-Region Purchasing Co-op, and I'm going to spend the next several minutes walking you through Maestro Forecasting. We have just uploaded all of the vendor catalogs. Every vendor is being renewed for school year 24-25, so you've got until February 29th to get all your forecasting into the catalogs. This is a requirement of all members, and we do expect you to forecast in each vendor's catalog that you plan to use for next school year. So let's get started. Let me share my screen. First, I just want to address getting logged in to Maestro. You are required to have a Region 10 account. If you have a Region 10 account and remember your email that was used and password, you can simply type in your credentials, click on sign in, and it should take you right to the home page. If you can't remember your password, you can reset it right from this sign in screen. Just click on forgot password. And if you've never set up a Region 10 account, you can go ahead and click on create account. Now, I do know that if you think you don't have an account and you click on this and you begin to create the account, if you do have one, the system will tell you. Once you get your account created, you should be able to log in. If the system doesn't let you, please reach out directly to me because there is a chance you are not listed with your district inside the Maestro software. And we simply add you. And once we add your email, you have no problem logging in. All right, so this is the login screen. Now, how did I get to this? On the Multi-Region Purchasing Co-op website, and this is on the home page for MRPC, there is a tab titled Labels and Links. When you click on that tab, Maestro Forecasting link is the very first one. This is how you get to that. Now, if you don't have the MRPC website pages bookmarked, I do encourage you to do that so you can always get to everything MRPC, but you can start at Region 10 and you can type in multi-region right there in that search and enter field. And once you click enter, it's the one link that pops up and that will take you right to that overview page. So again, right here from MRPC pages, labels and links. Okay, let's get started. Now, when you log in, you'll be taken to the home page and it looks like this. Everything on the left-hand side are the vendor forecasting catalogs. They are listed in alphabetical order by vendor name. The next piece of information following the vendor name is the RFP that they fall under. And keep in mind, some of our RFPs or catalogs, as they're called, in the system here, have multiple vendors awarded. So you'll see the importance of that when we start to add new item requests once I show you how this side works. I will say right away that if you're logging in for forecasting for school year 24-25, which is right now through February 29th of 2024, when you log in, if you see you've got some items listed over here, just go ahead and delete them. I mean, you may want to download them first if you didn't do that the first time. But go ahead and delete them because most likely they are from past forecasting or most recently mid-year forecasting or even the commodity bid forecasting. I did clear out from the back side, so I don't think you should be seeing anything over here, but I'm not sure. But if you do, please delete those and get those out of the way. Okay, let's talk about the catalog. So there are different pieces of information right here on the vendor card. First, you've got the vendor name. It tells you how many items are in the forecasting catalog. It tells you how many days are left to get your forecasting done, and then it tells you the deadline. Every vendor has the same deadline, March 29th. There are little tags in the bottom right-hand corner. If you see new, that indicates that this is simply a forecasting catalog that you have not opened up yet, or you may never open it up. You may not be participating with Alpha Foods on the manufacturer direct to district bid. If you have clicked on one of these cards and opened up the forecasting, Whether you've added items or not, it's going to show you in progress. Now, in this particular case, I just simply opened this forecasting sheet, but I didn't add any items, so I don't see anything added here. Now, if you have stepped into a catalog, whether you add items or not, the minute you click I'm done and you come back to this home screen, it's going to show complete. Now, if I would have added items, it would tell me how many items I would have listed in the forecasting sheet. So in this example, I just wanted to show you the 3 different tags that can be on any one of these cards out on the home screen. Now, I will say you want to select the vendors you're currently using if you plan to continue using them in 24-25. If there's a vendor you would like to start using, but not currently, you need to reach out to me because some of our vendors only reach a limited area of service, and it depends on where you're located. Also, if it's milk, there are specific vendors awarded to specific areas. So don't assume that just because you forecast with a vendor, if you're not using them right now, that guarantees you can use them next year. I have to get approval and have to look at what you're requesting. And mainly it's because some vendors just don't reach all of the areas where our co-op members sit. So you could be outside of a vendor's service area. And I would certainly hate to see you spend time forecasting because our time is very precious and we're all super busy. And then be told, oh, that vendor cannot deliver to you. That would not be fun. So just be mindful that you're forecasting with vendors if you plan to continue using them. All right, so let's go ahead and just jump into one of these catalogs. I'm just gonna go ahead and select Bimbo Bakeries, and I can click anywhere inside the card boundaries. Now, since I've already clicked on this, it's going to take me right to the spreadsheet page. Now, here's our spreadsheet looking forecasting catalog. You'll see that there's a bid code, which matches what's on our bid catalogs, the product description, manufacturer product code, the brand and label, pack size, what's that unit of measure? Does it meet Buy American? And then what's the current price? And then you'll notice there's an annual quantity column. This is really the only column that you can change, touch, update, whatever you want to do in there. We're looking for your annual quantities. Now keep in mind, you want to go by the pack size or how many packs or the unit of measure here. For some reason, that doesn't look quite right because 336 is per pack. So in this particular scenario, you're going to tell me what you want when it comes to how many packages. If I get that corrected, I will. So let's say in this case that you're serving these hamburger buns every week. There are 36 weeks, and maybe you just need 1 pack. You're a small school, so I'm gonna go ahead and put just 36. Now here's where you can do one of 3 things. You've entered the number, your quantities. You can hit enter, and it's automatically going to do a cost analysis. You can hit tab on your keyboard and it will produce the cost analysis, or you can simply type in the number and go on to the next one. The minute I clicked inside of another box, it did the cost analysis. I do recommend clicking on enter or tab just to nail down your quantities in that cell. If you were to enter something here and then you step out or you walk away, you get logged out, it may save it, it may not. It looks like it did. See, I have 4 items. I'm going to go right back into Bimbo Bakeries, and it does look like it saved it, but just to make sure that it catches everything you're entering, make sure you see that cost analysis fly out to the right-hand side. And I will tell you, the great thing about this program is that when you're going through your administrative reviews, TDA is going to ask you for proof of forecasting, even on the co-op bids, and proof of cost analysis. You're going to download your report once you're done, and you're going to have both in one document. So you've literally checked 2 boxes by simply entering your estimated quantities, and you're not having to think too far. Now, how do we find our items? Well, we have this left-hand navigation area. And this is where we can filter or sort in ways to find the exact products. First, in the search products field, you can search on a bid code. So if you're looking at our bid award catalog, maybe you've got a short list, a custom order guide you've worked from, and you know you've been purchasing this bid code number BR1007. Now you're going to notice I've typed in the number, I'm hitting enter, I'm hitting tab, nothing is happening. That's because the new feature up here called Apply Filters is a button you must click in order to make the program search for whatever criteria you have entered here. In this case, I used a bid code. I could have used this manufacturer product code. I could have used the word hot or even dog or bun or who knows what as a key word and search out the keywords. In this particular case, we searched on a bid code. I'm going to need 10 of these, and I enter my 10. Now, to get this to go away, you can try that, but nothing's going to happen. You've got to click on Clear Filters. I know this is a couple of extra steps, but it is an enhancement that Region 10 had to do to the program to bring in some new features. So when you're searching on things, so let's say we're going to search on roles and apply filters. Nothing came up. That tells me I've got just role, maybe. Okay. So I typed in the plural version. I took off the S. Now I typed in a role. I'm looking for a dinner role or maybe a sub role. Anything with the word role in the description is going to pop up. And then I can forecast my amounts. Clear Filters takes it away. Now, any of our food catalogs gives you the ability to toggle on and off. It meets the Buy American. It's a little button that just goes back and forth. Now, you're going to toggle that on. You want to see everything that has yes in the Buy American column. But guess what? This is in the filters area. So you've got to click Apply Filters. You want to clear it, click Clear Filters, and you notice that button toggles off. You can also search by brand name. Two different ways to do this. Number one, you can click on the down arrow, and now you've got a list of all the brands. Now, this is okay for smaller catalogs, but I will be honest, when you get into the Labatt catalog, which we'll look at, the list of brands is so long that it's a little cumbersome to scroll through and you have to load more. So what I recommend is start by typing in the first few letters of the brand that you want. When you do that, when I typed in SAR, it automatically brought up Sara Lee. And then I can click on it right from there, apply the filter, and there's my one Sara Lee product. So that is one way to get to a specific brand or label. All right, I'm gonna clear those filters. Now I've been working in the catalog. Maybe I step out, it saves automatically. There is no save button. So if I were to walk away, get logged out, or if I go back to my home screen, everything I've just entered is automatically saved. Once I'm done, before I click I'm done up in the right-hand corner, I want to download the list of my products. Now, you've got download as an Excel or download as a PDF up here in the right-hand corner. You can download the whole catalog. It's going to show you what you forecasted and what you didn't forecast, or you can filter by your items only. Click on My Items, Apply Filters, and there's your short list. And now you can download. Click on the Download Excel, which is what I recommend. It's going to download it to your Downloads folder. You can do the same for Download PDF. I like the Excel. It gives you some flexibility to work with it and do things with it, but that is certainly your choice. Maybe you want to download both. Once you've completed your list, you've clicked the download. Now you're ready to click I'm done. You're going to click on I'm done. You're going to confirm, yes, this is ready for my co-op to review. And now you've completed. Now look at our Bimbo Bakeries card. It's showing I forecasted 6 items and it's complete. Now, what if February 29th has not come and gone yet, and I'm thinking something doesn't look right. I know I buy more items than that from Bimbo. I'm going to reopen this, which I can, as long as the deadline hasn't passed. I can do two things. I can view the details, so I can open it up and see, well, what did I forecast? I might want to apply a quick filter and look. Okay, yeah, I forgot something. All right, I'm gonna need to go back out to the home. Go backwards. And I'm gonna need to reopen this. So I'm gonna click on reopen. And remember, that deadline must not have passed. Now I can bring back all the items. Now I can add anything that I'm missing. So now these quantity cells pop back up. Maybe I forgot my sandwich bread. Okay. I'm gonna have to download another copy because I just added a product, but I only want to see my product. So I'm gonna click on my items and apply that filter. And now I'm gonna download that. And now I'm gonna click I'm done. I'm gonna confirm once again. Yes, I know I'm done. And now I'm back to the main screen. You're gonna do this for each of your catalogs. Now, I wanted to talk about Labatt because I wanted to show you the one little thing about the brands. And that is when you click on this over here in the left navigation, the filter area, when you click on that down, you see there's quite a few listed, but then I've got to load more rows. And you'd have to keep loading. And this is just cumbersome because let's say you want to look at Tyson, you're going to be loading rows and rows. So I'm going to start to type in Tyson. And now that I've got TYSO, look at how many options come up. You may want to choose all of them, which you could do. Oops, got something going on there. Some little fly or something. I could add all of these. Click on Apply Filters. And now everything that belongs to Tyson is presented on my screen. And again, I can search by vendor code, which is the Labatt code. I can search by manufacturer code. I can search by bid code. This all matches what's in our current bid award catalog. Craziness. Clear the filters and everything comes back. So that's just the one little thing about searching for brands and labels is that if it's like the Labatt catalog, which can be really quite large, then you're going to want to search by maybe, typing it in the first few letters. But if you've got the bid code or and I will tell you on Labatt catalog, the bid code is actually the numerical order code. And I did this because there were some duplicates in the bid codes that I caught, and this was just a whole lot easier. So that's what's going on with Labatt. Now, what I will say is make your job as easy as possible. And how do you do that? Well, you can ask for a velocity report from any of these awarded vendors. And if they don't understand the word velocity, then you want to ask for a report that shows everything you've purchased from July 1 of this year to the current date. We're about halfway through. That's an easy number to go by. So when you get your report, if you're not changing your menu a whole lot, or even if you are, there's going to be items you're going to buy again next year, the same items, and you're going to be able to double that amount if you're on target for what you're using and enter that as your annual quantity. Now, when you ask Labatt for a report, talk to your salesperson, and what you want to see in any report really is manufacturer label, the manufacturer product code, the product name and description, and the total number of cases purchased from July 1 to the current date. Now, if you are talking to your Labatt sales rep, ask them to include the Labatt product code or the Labatt code, because that way you've got, at least two things that you can go by to search on, and you can obviously downsize by that. All right, so that's getting a velocity report. Of course, the one time I'm recording a video, this fly is just driving me crazy. Okay, now let's talk about new item request. Over here on the right-hand side. To get started, we're simply going to click on new request with a little add sign. And each of these fields is required. Try to be as accurate as possible. This helps me in adding new items to the bid. And it's so important that if there are any new items you're really wanting, that I understand your volume and what it is, because I am watching for material change and contract value. That is very important. We don't want to have that happen. And so I really do need as accurate of information as you can give me. Now, I do want to clarify, what does catalog mean versus forecast? You'll notice there's nothing under forecast until you select a catalog. Think of the word catalog in this window as what is the RFP. Now, you're not going to see vendor names in this list with exception to Labatt. And the reason for that is that a few years ago, I had a district that wanted to add some chips to the Labatt bid. And when they entered their new request in this area, they selected chips and snacks. And then they added whatever products, and they had 2 or 3 chips and snack products that they wanted added to Labatt. Well, when I download the report, if I'm downloading a report for chips and snacks, that's for that RFP, because it's a standalone solicitation. And the awarded vendor on chips and snacks is not Labatt, it's Masters. And so I actually added their request to the chips and snacks bid, and that was with Masters. When the school year started, they were like, oh, our products didn't make it. I'm like, what are you talking about? So when I looked back at the reports, I was like, oh, they meant to choose full line grocery bid. At the time, that's how it was listed. So I've tried to make it a little more clear this year with Labatt being full line grocery, since we only have one vendor awarded, but there are several catalogs or RFPs where there are several. Take, for example, beverages container. Well, that's Coca-Cola, Masters, or Dr. Pepper. So it depends on which vendor you want to add the products to, and you've got to be specific. If you don't tell me the vendor, I'm not going to know which vendor to add it to. And we're talking 271 schools, roughly 240 of you use Labatt, 271 of you use a variety of catalogs. So you have to be specific. You have to tell me, hey, Carrie, we want these sodas added to Dr. Pepper, or we want this water added to Dr. Pepper, whatever that looks like. You're going to give me a product description. If you've got the product name, go for it. If you know a description, type it in there. I prefer a product name. That makes it a little easier. Current price. I don't know, search the internet. Some of you dropped in a penny, some of you dropped in $1 when you were forecasting on other, like with the mid-year request. That forces me to look those products up, because I want to ensure that what you're requesting aggregated is along with the other new request doesn't force a material change in the contract value. And so that current price is really important. And I beg you guys to look up the current, or get some kind of an average price if you can. It's easier for you to maybe ask on 2 or 3 items you're requesting versus me asking on 100 items being requested from all the co-op members. So I ask you to do your due diligence here and come up with some kind of a price. Best guess, you've maybe seen an ad, maybe you've seen it on a market list, maybe you saw it through another co-op, maybe you talked to the vendor. However you get that price, or I don't know, maybe Amazon carries it and they've got a price, and at least that's a starting point. Pack size, you're going to tell me, what is it, 24? Maybe this is I don't know, 16-ounce bottles. Servings per case would be 24. The brand is any brand. But I do ask you to fill in all these pieces of information and how many cases annually. And then you're going to click on create. The minute you click on create, it shows up on the right-hand side of the screen where it will stay unless you decide to delete it. Once you add it to your screen, that adds it to the aggregated report that I will download after February 29th. So even if you forget to download your copy, which is just a simple download button right here, I will download it in an aggregated report. But I do encourage you to remember to download that report. Hopefully you do. If you are going along and then all of a sudden you realize, oh, wait a minute, that product is actually on the Dr. Pepper bid already. And I do encourage you search these catalogs before you add something to the new item request. Every year, I find there is crossover and someone's added items as new items when they're actually on the bid already. So do your due diligence, make sure you just can't find it. But if you happen to find it, all you have to do is click on the product, click on delete, click on OK, and the product's gone. It's that simple. All right. Now, let's say you realize, oh, wait a minute, I may have forecasted something I actually don't want next year. We just changed our menu. It's before the 29th. I'm going to reopen Bimbo. Click on reopen. And I'm going to find that product. You know, we're not going to do this 4-inch. I'm just going to take it off. Highlight that number, click delete, and move on. It all disappears. That just got automatically saved. Now I can click I'm done again. I can confirm I'm done, and everything is good in the world. All right. That is Maestro. I hope that you have found this video helpful and feel like you can get those velocity reports and get your estimated quantities entered. Use the bid catalogs as well. Some of you are probably using those with the My Products column. So you probably got a pretty good custom order guide already. Work off of those catalogs if you want to, or get a report from the vendor. My gosh, amazing. Okay, now I see how actors, they have to just let something land on their face and keep talking. I can't do that. Okay, you guys have great time forecasting. If you need help, please do not hesitate to reach out. Don't wait until the day before this is due and think that we can help all of you. Please get on top of this. You've got 100 days. And like I said, if you need help, please reach out to one of us. We can all help you. All right. Thanks for watching.